Hello people, wanted to participate in quarantine assignment, do your homework. So question number one, who are you, where you grew up, and etc. So I'm Philip Druzhinin, I'm from Russia. I was born in the city of Omsk, which is supposedly the Asgard of Erie because it's located on the river Irtysh that was called Erie Tishaishi before during the antique times, let's say like this. So we have a lot of toponyms also concerning Tartaria in my area. We have a city of Tara, River Tara, supposedly after the top goddess, and the sibling gods Tarch and Tar. So, and also we have city of Tatarsk, and so on and so forth. So most likely my area was also included in the Great Tartarius country, and so on. So, well, right now I live in Moscow, Russia. I live here for mostly like 11 years already, and I've also been living in the United States for a year during 1995 period. So I was a high school student in one of the small towns of Wyoming, which was called Powell. And you can still find me in the Powell High School yearbook of 1995, I guess. I was in sophomore class, so this is how you can verify I am who I am, because if I was who I am when I was a kid, then I am that man. So I also have an Instagram account, Philip Druzhinin, a page which is after my name, Philip Druzhinin. You can subscribe to my group, Matflood Advanced Research, and my channel on YouTube, which is also called Philip Druzhinin, and also the backup one is Matflood Advanced Research. So question number two, what brought you to the truth and how long ago? Well, certainly there was many different situations. They were that happened with me during my childhood and my youth. So and I ended up to be a police officer, economic crimes department head. So corruption, economic crimes, scams, and stuff like this. That's what I was participating in. So that's what was my law enforcement. And probably at the age of 24, 25, I began to follow the information that was quite concerning my town, because as I said before, it used to be something different. It had a star fort inside, and it had a longer history than we used to know. So it wasn't like built on an empty place. It was probably built like the rest of the cities on the ruins of the previous antique city. So that city was probably highly likely was called Asgard of Erie, and that's one of the 4 Asgards that were in the world, in the Empire of Ross. So what else? So what brought you to this? It's just my personal experience and those situations I've been in the youth, and they correlated to the new information that was coming up, that was leaking during the first years of second millennium. So it's like 2005, 2006, 2007, much new information was revealed, and we've heard about this Vedic knowledge and the connections of our place to all this Vedic civilization of the Empire of Ross. And that was probably what brought me into this alternative history and research. What was it that motivated you to start making videos? Well, I was working for a TV channel I was an executive director, executive manager, whatever you call it. So we had like a unit of production who was filming the conferences and business events and stuff like this, and we were broadcasting it on YouTube. That's where I started to participate in making videos and uploading on YouTube. So then I switched to politics, got a job in some video production unit of the internet media that was alternative, so-called patriotic conservative media of Russia. And it was like a hype of Ukraine and the Russia crisis and the Crimea stuff. So it was like during those days, and I had pretty good experience on all this stuff. So that's where I was making a YouTube to promote. And I started promoting YouTube channels. We had like a couple of them. So one channel even was had success to be grown like plus 270k subscribers during my year of working with it. So I think that was a pretty good result. But of course, that was a hype result. So that was probably the background. And at some certain point, I was watching a bunch of hangouts from America because I know English, and so at one hangout they were presenting the concept of giant trees, ancient giant trees. That was a flat earth conspiracy channel which was rather popular at that time. At least I was watching their hangouts. For me, they were like perfect at that time. So, and were very good understanding of what's going on with this flat earth community. So they had this release of the information, and there was a Russian guy who made this video actually. So I just contacted them to correct them a little bit, and jumped into the hangout and was promoting what I was what I already knew. So I knew a lot of things that American people didn't even know, English speaking community, I would say, not even Americans but English speaking community. So that's what got me an idea so I can share my information to the others. And so I started making videos on giants and mud flood buildings and Tartaria and ancient mining and so on and so forth. So that's what really was the ignition point. The ignition point was jumping into the chat, into the hangouts of Flat Earth Conspiracy twice, maybe. I've been there twice or 3 times. So, have you quit making videos? If so, how many times? Well, it was not just quitting. I was just having little pauses because sometimes you just have to do your stuff and forget about what the YouTube and the rest, because I work with the YouTube on a daily basis. So and I have a bunch of channels. It's not just one channel that I do. I do a lot of channels, and people pay me for doing YouTube. So so really I didn't quit at all, but I was quitting, pausing my channel for a while, for a couple of times. Top trolls. Have you had your channel taken down? How many times? How many subs did you lose or experience clear censorship? Well, not exactly. Well, I had a media network that was covering my ass, and it was like for quite a while. But then they sent me a message so I should quit these topics, or therefore they will unplug me from their network. And so they did, and said now you're on your own. That was probably 1 year from what I've started or something like this. And then I was trying to communicate with my YouTube manager, because I have a lot of channels, as you know, and each channel that has 100+ subscribers has a personal manager in Russia, at least. I don't know how you have in America, but we have it. So I had my manager in contact, and he was reviewing me manually a couple of times and said like, well, you're kind of okay for now, as long as you don't spread misinformation. So at least YouTube people confirmed that, and I even have a letter from one of my managers, I think, or I deleted already. So it was like a letter, like they say like, we confirm that you are okay, something like this. So and that was that was quite a relief. But right now they have an algorithm that can, you know, censor anybody as long as you get to the list of a so-called blacklist. And so only the viewers that have subscribed to you and pressed the bell button and subscribed to all notifications have a big chance to receive this actual notification or see you in their feed or browser. The rest perhaps won't even see that you made a new video unless they come to your channel and revisit it a couple of times a week, so that YouTube understands that you're, like, you know, actually watching for this channel and watching for the updates, right? So there's not a clear censorship right now. It's covered by the algorithm, and those algorithms don't how they act. They drop your videos into the recommendations of videos that don't even, you know, correlate to what you talk about. So it's like anti-wrinkle exercise or something like this, and the guys who watch the anti-wrinkle exercise will probably see you in suggested, click on it, and what are they gonna find? They're gonna find quite a different topic. And so this is how YouTube like kind of proves to itself that your video is like not very good for the viewers, and so it shuts down the spreading into the recommendations and so on, suggesting you to the rest of the videos. This is how they do it. So we're gonna have to fight with it, but I'm not here for the fame. I've been saying it since day one. I'm not here for the fame, and I'm not here for, you know, the money, although I have several propositions from different you know, monetizing businesses and stuff like this. So perhaps when I'm eager to do and to start something like real monetization, or making maybe a video or documentary, which I was already trying to make by myself, but it didn't, you know, find any support from the viewers, so nobody wanted to, you know, at least be engaged in this situation and confirmed any spendings, because at least my spendings were a lot more than I was earning from the YouTube for 3 years. Okay. Top trolls. Well, I think the top trolls for me is me, myself, and I. So that's the only trolls I have, because the rest of just, you know, they pissing me off. I may express this to the viewers, say it a couple of times, but then it just calms down after I ban all these suckers from my channel, and that's it. So as for what I remember, there's just a bunch of the worst, the stupidest trolls. I wouldn't say that top trolls, because top trolling is, you know, you have to have some level of education, and you have to, like, you know, actually argue on a scientific level with me. But there are none of these people. We have only the people who say I'm transgender, or who say I'm a different person, or maybe the people just say I'm shill, or, you know, oh, a heroin addict also. So this is just what I get. So it's just the average. In average, it's just a freaking hate that people provide towards me after they are disappointed in something, or maybe if I miss some information they want me to talk about, or maybe if I comment something somewhere and they don't want to hear this information, or they are not completely agreeing with it. So this is just, you know, hatred. So nothing like somebody was actually trolling. All those who tried to troll me, they probably regret. And so all the information about them you can find on my channel in the playlist of the mudflood debunkers, or transparent debunkers. Transparent mudflood debunkers. I have 2 videos on 2 people who actually tried to compete with me in this stuff. So top shields. Oh, I can't accuse person for being dumb, but right now one of the shields that I've met on my, you know, on my path is just Simon Dan, the guy who actually doesn't have any credibility from scientific world. He doesn't have any degree, doesn't have any higher, maybe has a higher education, that's it. So but I doubt that he has a scientific degree. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. He has a tutor company which got actually broke, and it doesn't work anymore. So his only revenue that he gets it's only from YouTube. So that guy is actually a shill, and I think he is prepaid by NASA boys from via Patreon and other stuff that donate him the money on regular basis. Look how much he gets. Look how he started. I checked all his videos since the day one, and I've seen that he started exactly on bashing flat earthers, and actually without any performance. So actually not doing any simple research or examination of practical, in practical presentations of somebody being wrong, but just stating stuff from the official sources, like Wikipedia or whatever he was using. So this is not okay for me, and I say he is a fucking shill because he's been paid via Patreon, and he thinks it's okay because people pay him. That's what he thinks, and I doubt that they're actually smart enough to understand what are they paying for. And this is the hatred, and whatever were the waves of hatred, they were from that person. His followers are just attacking the guys that he is reacting to in his videos, and just jumping into that channel, put no dislike, put no assaulting comments, and that's it. So nothing really productive from those debunkings that this shill makes. And I know he's probably gonna attack me someday. He attacked two of my acquaintances, and so, or maybe he knows that I know who he is. I know exactly where he lives, and I know the address, I know his telephone number, I know everything about him. So as soon as he tried to attack me or any of my information, I'm probably drop this information into the internet, or probably somebody already did it. I think I've seen something on the internet already about where he lives. Well, we have to recheck it. Okay. Experience any scrutiny from your family, friends, partners? Well, most of the guys in Russia don't even know that I have a channel. Like 99.99.999999. So, like maybe 10 or 15 people know that I have a channel in English, but they don't even know what I'm talking about there. Well, several of them jumped in and tried to listen to, but they just don't have enough knowledge in English to understand what I'm talking about. So, no, nobody knows that I'm on YouTube, and so nobody knows that I do this stuff, and except my wife, maybe a couple of friends. So that's it. Supportive individuals in your journey. Well, I'd like to mention people that started to make shoutouts at my videos and my channel, starting with Arjun Hartman, then Lori Frary, and, Max Sagan, Lone Eagle, Richard Lopez, Roxanne Glenn, and perhaps somebody else. They say J Dreamers or something also shout out at me, but I haven't seen. Maybe New Earth also did it. So everybody who did the shout outs at me, I just I'm totally grateful, and I say thank you all for letting people know about my channel and so on. So these are individuals that actually helped me in this journey. How your friends and subs are cooperating, I think. So, well, we have a Mudflood Advanced Research Group. Some people just putting the information inside. So I'm just a little part right now in this Facebook community of truthers and so on and so forth. So probably this is a small answer for this big question, but really I don't want to say the names of the people who helped me or who helped me, but majorly there are only few who are with me for all these years. Okay, Any viewers or fans that stand out or made a real impact? Could you maybe read comments or emails? Well, I'm not sure. I have to. I have a right to read somebody's comments or emails on video, but believe me, I got a bunch of those pictures from different people from other countries and sending me their examples. By the way, a bunch of people started their channels as what they said to me after watching my videos. So I think the Google Trends also show that the interest to the Mudflood and Tartaria rose after I started all these promotions, and I have played a big part in that. So probably this is what I can answer on this question. Any pictures or credentials, high school, college graduation, family, jobs you've held, etc. What you'd be willing to share? I kind of like the idea of showing baby through today on all you guys, but not big deal if it's not. But let it be not. Well, just let me have my final statement. And right now we have this situation of lockdown, guys, and so I think it's a good time to think. I think it's a good time to think. So think about what is actually wrong and right, what you need, what do you need actually on your daily basis, and what you do need. You probably realize that a bunch of things that you miss right now, you probably don't need 90% of them, so, or need to take them a lot more rare than you used to. And that's what really a great time to rediscover who you are, what do you want to do, and reassure the future is not a reactive situation but a proactive situation. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared and ready, and subscribe to the channels that you like, and just don't forget to check on what they predict and what they give in on the future, so we can check who you actually can trust and who is just making shit up just for people to watch it. So okay, thanks a lot for this homework assignment. See you later, bye.